Hi, salam sejahtera. Welcome to Virtual Venture Vacation. My name is Chua Han. So today I'm going to share with you on Putrajaya again. That is the part 2. Yeah. So Putrajaya, as you can see, the view is really fantastic. Really very, very beautiful. So today I'm going to share with you, part of it is about the bridges of Putrajaya. Just right in front of you, as you can see, there are 2 bridges. Altogether, in Putrajaya, there are actually 8 bridges. The one that the vehicle that uses is actually 7 bridges, and the one right in front of you that you see right now, which is actually not being used yet, it has been built first, yeah, and it was just laid there. It's actually supposedly used for the monorail. So there are actually 7 vehicle bridges. The one which is the most popular one is the Putra Bridge. Okay, and then the second one, this is the Sri Padana Bridge, which leads you to the residence of our Prime Minister. Then we have the third bridge, that is Sri Bhakti Bridge. Sri Bhakti Bridge is actually also can say that it's leading to our Deputy Prime Minister's house. Okay. Then we have the Sri Gemilang Bridge. This Sri Gemilang Bridge is also one of the most spectacular ones. It is actually located right in front of PICC. Okay. The Sri Bestari Bridge. Sri Wawasan Bridge. This is, of course, one of the most popular bridge. And in fact, while you are actually crossing the bridge, you might see quite a lot of those tour buses stopping by on the left lane, yeah, because this spot itself is actually very good for photography, yeah. So if you want to have a good photography of the a good shot, yeah, of the Prime Minister's office and also the Putra Mosque, you can always get the photo from here. And opposite is the Millennium Tower, which you can see very clearly from here as well. So this, of course, the Vision Bridge is one of the most popular ones in Putrajaya. And then we have this Sri Saujana Bridge. Okay, over here you can see that the whole view of the Putrajaya, which is the garden city. Everywhere is greenery. So over here, due to its greenery, of course, that's the reason why, as mentioned earlier on, there are actually 13 gardens found in Putrajaya itself. So the first one, which is actually right just next to the Prime Minister's office, is the Botanical Garden. In the evening, you might see a lot of locals actually having leisure time, pastime in this Botanical Garden, even having jogging over here. And the second one is actually the Putra Padana Garden. The Putra Padana Garden is where, yeah, the icon of the Putra Jaya, or we call it as the Mercu Tanda, located. This is where you can see very clearly, yeah, the Mercu Tanda. Then we have the Rimba Alam Park. Okay. The Rimba Alam Park actually, in fact, this is among all the gardens, this is where one unique part is where there are, you might see, yeah, there might be people riding on horses over here. And then we have this Taman Warisan Pertanian, which is actually the agricultural heritage park. Ladies and gentlemen, of course, this is one which I strongly recommend to you if you have the time to bring your children to enhance their knowledge over here. Later on, I'm going to describe to you more about this agricultural heritage park. And then we have this Wawasan Recreational Park. Wawasan means vision over here. Yeah, it's in Malay. You'll find that in Putrajaya itself, there are a lot of places or items named as Wawasan or vision. Mainly was because during the era of Tun Dr. Mahathir, he wanted that Malaysia to be a developed nation by the year 2020. So that is his vision, and that's the reason why a lot of places named on Wawasan. And then we have this Pancharona Sports Complex Pancharona Garden. This is actually the so-called stadium where the locals, or when they want to organize any sports activities over there. And then we have the South Garden. South Garden is actually the cemetery yard of the Malaysians. One very unique part about South Garden is that actually, it is about Malaysia, because Malaysia consists of multiracial. So South Garden accommodates for all races, all various religions of the people of Malaysia, actually located in the South Garden as well. And then we have this Taman Alam or Wawasan or Challenge Park. This is where, if you like those tedious and very challenging kind of sports, which is actually next to the South Garden, this is a very, very good park for you to venture into as well. And then we have Saujana Hijau Garden. If you have ever been to the Saujana Hijau Garden, you will feel it is a very soothing, very quiet environment. And it's kind of like when you are in overseas, that kind of environment in the park actually. So it's very beautiful as well. And of course, the Taman wetlands or the wetlands. So wetlands, of course, is man-made wetlands is one of the most successful wetlands park. In the evening, if you ever have the chance, of course, when you drive along around the area of Putrajaya, a place where you found suddenly a lot of birds actually standing on the black poles. This shows that how successful Putrajaya was, because even the migratory birds actually flew to the wetlands park. And then we have the China-Malaysia relationship friendship garden. This was actually because Malaysia was celebrating 500 years of anniversary during, ever since our Admiral Cheng Ho visited Malacca then, right? So that's the reason why Malaysia decided to have this garden to symbolize the friendship between China and Malaysia. And of course, due to these all the government places are there, of course, this is a place where there will be a lot of festivals going on. And as mentioned earlier on, even the boulevard was planned so that all kind of festivities or entertainment can be organized along the route itself. So there are a lot of very, very spectacular festivals being organized in Putrajaya. One of it is actually the Festival of Light and Motion. And this festival was actually organized usually end of the year between 31st of December right up to 3rd of January. So ladies and gentlemen, if you are celebrating New Year for a countdown, this is definitely one of the very, very good spot which you can go. That is the Justice Palace. That is right in front of the Putrajaya Corporation, where you will see the grand projection using the laser to shoot onto the domes of the Justice Palace. And usually you'll see that the whole lighting and the mapping is actually between 7:30 right up to 12:30. But the grand projection mapping is actually at 9 p.m. Yeah. So at the midnight itself for the firework, actually they have a very, very spectacular of firework during the New Year as well. And then the next very grand festival, which is also fantastic, is the Royal Floria, which is organized annually, and the location is actually a botanical garden. And they usually organize this Floria every year, mid-August. And the visiting hours is actually 10 o'clock in the morning, right up to 10 o'clock in the evening. So please take note, there are these entrance fees applicable. And then another very, very fantastic, whereby the Putrajaya organized the Magic of the Night, and it is held during Royal Floria Festival as well. So it is actually together, yeah, where you can see the Royal Floria during the daytime, and then in the evening there will be a lot of floats on the lake of the Putrajaya, and usually those big corporations or the state governments participated, and of course there will be competition on to see which of the float is the most beautiful ones. And another very fantastic festival is actually the hot air balloon festival. As you can see from the photo over here, you'll find various types and various shapes of the hot air balloon. Yeah, and during the time, basically on the air, you see really very colorful. Yeah, very colorful. And this festival is actually organized annually mid-March at Pressing 2. And then, of course, the grand one is actually the National Day Parade. Yeah, and right in front of you that you can see is actually the Putrajaya Corporation as well. So usually, of course, the very grand festivals, they will definitely have it over there. All right, because over there is kind of like a square, a very, very big and spacious place for the people to do activities and celebrations over here. So, ladies and gentlemen, I've introduced you so many places about Putrajaya. The golden question is, of course, people will ask, which are the places worth to visit in Putrajaya? Basically, you can spend one whole day in Putrajaya, that's for sure. Yeah. So the best recommended tour that you can use is actually the bicycle tour. You can easily rent bicycle actually near the souk, that is very next to the Pink Mosque, or basically the food court just by the side of the Pink Mosque, right? So by using the bicycle, it is easily accessible from the Prime Minister's office right up to the PICC, yeah, for the whole route of Putrajaya, which is Putrajaya Boulevard, which is 4.2 kilometer. So basically, the vicinity I'm going to introduce you is actually area by area. Of course, the first one is actually near the Prime Minister's office itself, and that is where the Putra Square. And within the Putra Square, there are actually a few places worth for you to take photo. One of it is the Padana Putra, that is the Prime Minister's office. All right, of course, this place you can't go in. Yeah? And then the second one, Putra Mosque. Putra Mosque, of course, if you have the time, of course, you can visit inside the Putra Mosque. But then, of course, during the prayer time, of course, you are not allowed to go in. So you have to plan such that for the Putra Mosque, it is not during the Muslim prayer time. And this is the Dataran Putra Square. That is the Putra Square. And then just within nearby, a stone away only, this is the Putra Bridge, all within one area. And of course, not forgetting the souk, which is just by the side of the Pink Mosque. The souk is actually more of like a hawker stalls or food court, which is air conditioned. Yeah, highly recommended. If you have the chance, you might want to try the Indian food over here. That is the you can see the roti canai, yeah, where a lot of foreign tourists from China, they love to try this roti canai over here with the Indian curry, and of course some seafood like the crab and also the prawn as well. Yeah. So the second one, which from cycling itself, you might want to go to the Sri Wawasan Bridge. Yeah. Perhaps cycling is only about 10 minutes away from the Dataran Square. Sorry, the Putrajaya Square. So this is the Vision Bridge. Okay. And then after Vision Bridge, then you might want to go to the Center Park. That is where basically the Putrajaya Corporation located, and you will see that there are quite a lot of unique buildings over here, all within the vicinity of Putrajaya Corporation. Okay, so opposite it is the Palace of Justice, Malaysia, and then we have the Steel Mosque, which is very near to the lake. It's actually at the lake side, and then next to the mosque is actually the Department of Islamic Development, Malaysia, all within one area. And then after you have visited these places, then you can go towards the PICC, and you'll find a very beautiful bridge over here. That is the Seri Gemilang Bridge. Okay, and then we have the 4 buildings just by the lakeside as well. That those are the government buildings, if you can recall. And then of course this very unique design building, which is known as the Putrajaya International Convention Center, PICC, right at the end of the boulevard. And then of course, as mentioned earlier on, one of the very very worth visiting park is actually the Agricultural Heritage Park, right? So at this park itself, children will see various types of trees. See, it's through history, of course, Malaysia is well known for its plantations. Now, during the history, the era of Sultanate of Malacca was so famous part due to what is because of the herb and spices. So basically, over here you find a lot of various types of the herb and spices trees found in Agricultural Heritage Park. So after the herb and spices, then of course coffee came over, and you'll find coffee and tea plantations over here, even the cocoa trees as well. And then we have our rubber estates and also the palm oil as well. So over here, they even demonstrate on how the rubber tappers tap the rubber trees and how the rubber sheets are produced. So it's a very worth visiting place if you have the time, especially to enhance the knowledge of the children. Okay. Then, yeah, this is the location of the next very worth visit place is the Sri Padana. Sri Padana is actually the residential place of our Prime Minister, because our 4th Prime Minister then was Tun Dr. Mahathir, and he is the one who mooted the idea and built Putrajaya, and he allowed visitors to visit this Sri Padana. You might be curious on why our Prime Minister is allowed to be visited, whereby in fact I will say that in the world, basically most of the Prime Minister's residence you can never go in, right? But because Tun Mahathir mentioned that this is built, yeah, by the government of Malaysia and belongs to the government of Malaysia, as such, yeah, to show his sincerity, yeah, he allowed people to visit this Sri Padana. So when you want to visit this Sri Padana, please take note. Of course, the first one is on your attire. As long as for males, you wear neat and tidy. Of course, a t-shirt with collar, and of course with short sleeve will do, and long pants with shoes. And then ladies, of course, as usual in Malaysia, you must wear long skirt that is below your knee. Yeah, please take note on this part. And then of course for registration purposes, you will need your passport, or for the local is your identification card as well. So please take note again, no photography allowed at all while you are in the Sri Padana. Okay, and then another thing to take note is that this place, yeah, it is closed on every Fridays, mainly because in Malaysia, Friday is the prayer day for the Muslims. So basically the visiting hours is actually from 9 o'clock in the morning right up to in the afternoon at 3 o'clock. Yeah, please take note on this. This is definitely one of the very well, very fantastic place for you to visit. Okay, another activity which if you have extra time, yeah, is highly recommended as well, is the cruise tase. That is the lake cruise. All right, so there are actually two types of cruise. The middle photo that you can see is actually, yeah, the one of the boat local, another one which is more of like a ferry. So if you have extra time, you might want to have dinner in the ferry as well. You can make some reservation over here as well. So ladies and gentlemen, of course, as usual, if you have friends and relatives who actually wanted to come to Malaysia, please, yeah, you can always contact me via my email or my handphone. Okay, and of course, I hope that you have actually enjoyed this video, and you will subscribe so that you will receive any new notification on my posting. All right, thank you very much for watching my video. Thank you. Bye bye.